DC Young Fly's wife, Ms Jacky Oh, actually just passed away. Now, she went in for a mommy makeover, but it seems like something went wrong during the surgery and she did not make it through. So this was the post right before she had her surgery. Dr. Zach actually posted this on his Instagram page, getting ready for my mommy makeover, but he has now deleted that post.
First, let me start off with my sincere condolences regarding this situation. I can't even fathom the pain right now of a loved one going in for a procedure and then not being able to ever see them alive again. This is extremely devastating. And while I'm not familiar with her as an entertainer, I am familiar with DC Young Fly, super talented brother whose career I've seen progress significantly over the past several years. But the pressure to look a certain way in our modern society today is inevitably killing a lot of our young people. So when I was taking a look at the story, I actually had to look up what a mommy makeover was because it's a new term. I am not familiar with it. And it seems to be a catchphrase or an umbrella term used to describe a suite of different potential surgeries. Those include breast augmentation, liposuction, and vaginal rejuvenation surgery, which I actually didn't know was a thing, but then also BBLs, Brazilian butt lifts. Essentially, post a child, they want to look like what they look like before they had a child, or an enhanced version of what they look like before they had a child. Now, we've talked about on this channel the implications of the keeping up with the Instagram Joneses, trying to look like these AI generated filters and the great lengths that women are doing to achieve an aesthetic that is not real. And while we do not know the specific surgeries that this young lady had undergone, what if I told you guys that the leading cause of death of all plastic surgeries are BBLs? It is an absolute pity that in order to achieve a beauty standards, these young women are not only regretting their decision to go under the knife, but also losing their lives even when these stats are widely known.
Unfortunately, this one isn't fake news. Yesterday, the Washington Post reported on a fake doctor who got 10 years in prison for killing a woman with toxic injections into her behind. The Washington Post is referring to the Florida case of O'Neal Ron Morris, who pled no contest to manslaughter and practicing without a license. Over the course of a 3-year period from 2007 to 2011, Morris injected patient Shatarka Newby 10 times with a mixture of cement, mineral oil, bathroom caulking, and Fix-A-Flat tire sealant. In March 2012, Newby died. A medical examiner found the official cause of death to be respiratory failure from massive systemic silicone migration from injections to Newby's buttocks and hips.
Just to cut to the chase, the reason why I regret having my BBL is because in the course of 3 months, I lost almost all of my volume. I did everything that I was told to do. I've been sick. I haven't been able to keep a lot of food down. I have really bad acid reflux and heartburn. So I've lost even more volume. So I'm no longer the size that I was in pants.
What made me regret it was how big it was and how I felt like people didn't take me serious. Like, people did not take me serious to me. Like, all they thought I was a booty. Like, but it gives me like so many insecurities. Like, I know how to hold my own when I'm out in public, you know, and I hear people talking or whatever. It used to bother me a lot. And I used to always want to clap back at people when they said stuff like, oh, your butt big, your legs little, you look like an ant, yada, yada, yada. I even had friends who supposed to have been my friends that wasn't my friends, that even when they got mad at me, they talked about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew that it was a problem for me. And with them knowing it was a problem for me, they brought up the problem areas.
There's also a high rate, when I go through the research and talking about it, of young women losing their lives, having serious complications, specifically around embolisms, fatty embolisms. Do you want to talk to the viewers and tell them what is this potential risk? What is the procedure? How often it happens? And what your recommendations would be on something like that?
So BBL stands for Brazilian butt lift. And essentially it is taking fat from a different part of your body and injecting it into the butt. And up until a few years ago, we thought that this was the safest way to enhance the buttocks. And as we know, our society and our culture, it's really focused on the derriere. Unfortunately, studies have now shown that it has the highest mortality rate, death rate, in all of plastic surgery.
Be clear, I'm not telling anyone to go and do surgery. I'm not persuading anyone to go and do it. Like, me personally, I've experienced a lot of things and it's just got to the point where it's affected my health. So the whole reason why I decided to do a BBL in the first place was because I was a lazy git. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't like working out. I was very unfit, and that's the realest of it all. Like, I didn't be asked. I was very lazy. I didn't care. I had the money and I wanted to go do it and I done it. And I was in so much pain. My bum was throbbing. My bum was burning me. It was literally like, imagine burning yourself with hot water, that pain. And I knew straight away that something wasn't right with my bum. Like, something just wasn't right. Even on the plane back to the UK, like, sitting down was so uncomfortable for me. It was so stressful. Because I didn't get up to walk around and make sure the blood was circulating in my bum. So those things had a big impact on my procedure. Don't get this. Tell me you now. Okay, you good. Don't get this. Don't get this. Telling y'all this hurts. Don't get this. Yo. Do not get this. Do you understand me? You are fine the way the you are. This hurts. Don't get this shit. You get this shit. Don't you get this shit? Hurts so bad. Y'all said y'all want to see the fucking truth. Here it is. Don't get this fucking shit.
And if the argument is that the stats are not widely known, well, then I ask you guys, well, why are they not? We already know that a significant component of modern women's internal validation comes from the external validation that they receive from others. So not informing them regarding the potential repercussions of a life-threatening or potentially life-altering surgery that they're undergoing does them more harm than good. I mean, listen, surgeries happen every day, B. Okay? But when you have one specific type that is known for being the highest mortality rate, then something must be said. But I'd argue in our society today, which is so drugged up with the dopamine hit of validation and entitlement, everybody is just searching for the easy button, because the easy button is utilizing money that you've built up over time in order to try to change something or fix something about yourself. But the hard way is consistency and discipline to achieve it on your own. And I think it says something very dark and sinister about our society, the culture that we are indoctrinated into today, when so many, even when potentially knowing the stats, still go forward with it. And it's like, damn, is it really worth it at the end of the day? But what's even crazier is that this easy button epidemic is not just impacting women. I actually did a video on this gentleman a couple of days ago. He's the Endure gentleman on the Whatever podcast, and then went over the Valuetainment and got sunned by a very masculine young woman for essentially calling her fat within her comment section on some video that she was in.
Can somebody tell me what I said that everybody's so upset about that I'm still waiting on?
What was the example that, just to be clear?
I'll do the three. Was it three? Nah, I'm pretty sure it was, is this chick supposed to be attractive? 1. 2, she's 40 pounds too heavy.
Yep.
XYZ, something about weight. I wouldn't listen to her. Like, you just went on a rant. It was like.
How do you know that that was him, though?
Because it was his name with the check mark in the chat.
Do you recall doing that?
I guess so.
Well, apparently, this joker went and had liposuction done. Really? Think about the psychology of the insecurity. This guy shames a woman for what he thinks is overweight as a way to project his own insecurities regarding his own weight onto her. And there goes the psychology right there, guys. The want to hit the easy button to achieve something that should be difficult is deep rooted within both men and women today due to insecurity. No wonder why the depression rates and the utilization of SSRIs are so high in Western culture today. Let me tell you guys something straight up. If I can't train, if I can't work out, I begin to lose my mind. Legit. I am more moody. I am more sluggish. I am less motivated. I don't want to create YouTube videos. I'm just not myself. But when I exert myself, when I train, when I am disciplined, when I'm consistent, when I'm forcing myself to do extremely hard shit, easy buttons like this begin to repulse me. Shortcuts will make you weak. I've never been a fan of shortcuts. And it's just so crazy to me that this guy couldn't just endure through a diet, weight loss regimen, or endure going to the gym consistently. So anyway, I know I digressed a bit in this conversation. This is actually a video on the channel and I can't scroll down because then it'll get me zapped off of YouTube. So again, my extreme condolences for Ms Jacky Oh and her friends, her family, to DC Young Fly. This is an extreme tragedy, but I do hope that the stats regarding these particular procedures are much more widely known and spread amongst the masses, the viewers, and to also any men that are within my audience that are thinking about getting these different types of surgeries just for an aesthetic perspective. There's one thing going under the knife for a medical reason, a medical purpose. You have to understand, is the value that you gain out of the procedure worth the potential risk? But if the value that you can gain is something that you can work on yourself, then that's the answer that masculine men should always follow. Never give in to the temptation of the easy button, because the easy button will make you weak. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. I debated whether or not to do this video, but I'm happy that I did, because I think over here we can have a discussion regarding it in a way to try to inform people how better to move within their life in order to minimize the risk against them. Until next time, YouTube, peace.